used cooking as a learning experience. She's put her teenagers to work with the help of a guided meal kit subscription.
School wasn't really happening at all, so we kind of joked that this was like a home ec class.
Her 16-year-old, Sophie, likes being head chef a few times a week.
It's pretty fun, honestly. Like, I was expecting it to be super stressful and stuff, but because I'm the older sister, I kind of get to be more in charge. I'm the one cutting the veggies.
Home cooks have also become more adaptable, especially early in the pandemic, when stores were running out of basics like rice and flour. Washington Post food editor Joe Yonan is the author of a cookbook called Cool Beans.
Probably the biggest thing that we've seen has been people wanting more flexibility in their recipes and looking for ways to substitute things.
He says pantry staples like beans had a big moment this year as shoppers were at the store less and at home more. Plus, he says they're fairly inexpensive, which has been critical during this economic recession.
People will still be looking for frugal ways of cooking, I think, for a while to come. And beans certainly fall into that. I think the making your own bread certainly falls into that.
Bread, the darling of the early pandemic. Remember the sourdough craze and how yeast and flour were hard to come by for a while? In Chicago, Sophie Lalonde tried a new recipe every week. Most turned out great, but bread was tough. Her cinnamon roll dough, hard as a rock.
I am not exaggerating. I could hit it, pounding on it with a fist, and it would not make a dent. That totally sucked.
That's part of the process of becoming a better cook, says Chef Steve Nostrat. She wrote the cookbook Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
Even if you're making bad bread, right, you're off your computer, you're off your screen, your hands are in dough, you're trying to be attuned to how wet is this dough? How does it feel when I'm turning it, when I'm kneading it? And that kind of stuff is, to me, what makes us human.
Also human, getting tired of it all. So if you find yourself developing a not so happy relationship with your kitchen, you're not alone.
I reached a point where I was so sick of the taste. I mean, I still am so sick of the taste of my own cooking.
Nostrat says that's where rotisserie chicken from the grocery store can come in handy. Or some chili crisp to liven up your fried egg or boxed mac and cheese.
I will say, I have really, really explored a lot of new condiments this year. I will say.
Or maybe just get takeout. Nostrat says the restaurants could use our help. And you could pick up that juicer, Instant Pot, or air fryer again tomorrow. Nina Kravinsky, NPR News.
This is NPR News.
From the University of Kansas, this is Kansas Public Radio 91.5. In Lawrence, 90.3 in Chambers. Coming up in 10 minutes at 9 o'clock on KPR2, we'll bring you the BBC News Hour. Christmas Day treat for European Union ambassadors. They've been summoned for a briefing on the Brexit deal. We'll take a look at who wins and who loses in this massive trade deal. Also, the U.S. is allowing Iran to get around sanctions to buy coronavirus vaccines. More on those stories. News from around the world. The BBC News Hour coming up at 9 o'clock if you're joining us on KPR2.
Support for KPR comes from Bert Nash Community Mental Health Center. The Bert Nash Center provides innovative research-based services that address diverse mental health needs of children, families, and adults for Douglas County residents. More information at bertnash.org.